Hey warriors, I hope you're all doing great. So yes, let's talk about something different today. The different about all of my friends who are attempting their September 2025 examinations. Couple of people who are getting involved in this. One, all those of my friends who are probably still not prepared for the subject and are planning to attempt September 24 or 25 to give it a shot. Couple of people who are already geared up, maybe lacking a few things here and there, but are still on top of things and should be able to complete things in the next 1.5 months. And then there's last set of people who are already ready. They're just waiting for their exams because they know they're going to clear the exams and they're going to get through the CA Inter to do better. Three set of people, everyone whom I want to talk to today. This is a video to discuss with you all the exemption strategy which you should be following for your upcoming September 2025 examinations, no matter where you stand. Right now, let me clarify this. When it comes to CA Inter, I know paper number 3 has two components. One is income tax and one is direct tax. So I, on a standalone basis, cannot come and promise you that yes, I can get you 60 plus because my subject itself is 50 plus. Yes, I cannot give you a subject of 60 plus when the topic itself is 50. But fairly, let's keep this in mind that when it comes to direct tax or indirect tax, the format remains the same, right? Things are not going to change. We're talking about laws at the end of the day. The priority of the topics may change, but at the end of the day, the understanding remains the same. So whether you talk it from an income tax perspective or you talk it from an indirect tax perspective, I believe the logic is not going to change, and therefore you can still use the same guidelines for your indirect tax as well. Yes. In this video, we're going to be talking about how can you think about scoring an exemption by preparing for the next 30 days properly so that you are able to get through with things. Now, obviously, if you have other subjects also pending, I'm pretty sure you will have your other faculties who are also going to confirm to you on how you should be preparing for their subjects. Trust them, trust me. Let's talk about this together. Yes. Couple of things. First things, when you want to talk about an exemption, it is important that you start thinking like the person who's going to become a ranker. Yes, a mindset is very important because at this point, if you're having this feeling that after 1.5 months also, all I'm looking for is just clearing this exam and going forward, probably things will be a little more challenging because when you aim low, you get low, right? So start with this understanding that yes, I want to aim the top and therefore I get somewhere there. That is going to be the strategy number one. And therefore, for this strategy, I've split myself into two components. One is things which you should be doing, and one is things you should not be doing. Yes, we call it the yes things. We call it the yes things. First and the most important thing is to realize that when it comes to subjects as daunting as direct tax, as daunting as indirect tax, it is not about you having everything in your hand. Right? The problem what happens is some people try to accumulate too much information in themselves that they're not able to cover the syllabus. Especially on the day before exams, when you have just 1.5 days to cover both direct tax and indirect tax, it is important that you know what is more critical than what is less critical. Topics which are very useless, topics like exemptions probably, topics like basics of income tax. These topics were important for you to get the conceptual clarity of the subject. But on its own carry no marks in exam, right? So it's important, and the step number one to be kept in mind when you talk about an exam is to know the important topics, the critical ones which are going to really make and game your make or break your game. Chapters like PGBP carries 14 marks. Chapters like TDS carries 4 marks. Chapters like return filing, which carries 4 marks. Chapters like clubbing and set off, which together can carry 6 marks. Chapters like exemptions, which carry its own weightage in indirect taxes. These kind of chapters are some things which you should be aware on the first day. When you start reading itself, your faculty should have already told you, and I did that in my classes as well, to tell you what chapters are going to be extremely important for you to take note of. Those are the chapters where you should be paying extra attention to. Yes, so that is going to be step number one. So for the next 30 days, my only request is if you're going through, first try to figure out the chapters which are very, very, very important. Now, let me clarify before I go forward, while that is there in the note things also. Do not take my wordings as an assumption that I'm asking you to skip topics. All I'm requesting for you is that if you know the pattern of this importance, when you prepare for your exams, you'll have a better grip on completing the important things earlier. Right? Rather than you starting in the same pattern, it may cause problems during exams because you may end up skipping a few topics just to complete it during the days of preparation. Important topics, grasping of it helps you prepare a proper template on how you want to prepare for your exams. That is what I'm talking about. I am not talking about you skipping topics. Please keep that in mind. Point number 2. The most important thing, and this is something which is going to be a learning lesson for all those people who have written May 25 as well, learning things conceptually has become the most important thing right now. A very, very simple example, if I can give you people, is that when May 25 exams were launched, This time, for some reason, speculative business was given extra priorities. But nowhere in the exam questions did they ever mention that the person is into speculative business. Chapter question number 4, clubbing and set off. You can go forward and check the suggested answers. They started using words as profit from futures and options. Right now, the problem is most of the students who have not learnt it conceptually and have started mugging up things, your study material is nowhere going to talk about the word futures and options to be a speculative business. It is all those things which you have learned from your faculties, from your expertise, from your market studies. So therefore, conceptual clarity has become extremely important, and this is a warning sign from ICI for all those students who are trying to mug up the subjects for your exams. ICI is really up their game and they're giving you really difficult things for your exam. So you need to be understanding what is happening conceptually on your things. Keep that in mind. Third, please have this on the top of your head, practicing before you're moving on. The one mistake which I notice with students is that when it comes to subjects like direct tax and indirect tax, they get so engrossed into learning the concepts like slubbing, set off and all, where they know, Rahul, I understand the syllabus, I understand the topic, I've understood the provisions, good for me, let's move forward. No. The mistake which happens, people, is that chapters like clubbing, set off and all do not have its own weightage. Chapters like clubbing and set off, while it has its own provisions, take a lot of reference from previous chapters. So which means unless and until you have tested yourself in those questions which ICI is asking in these chapters, you will never get to know how you're performing for yourself. So it is always important that as you complete a chapter, you also practice questions relating to it. If you're anyway doing full courses, people, the faculty would have taken the class, at the same time would have also done the questions relating to it. So you would have got a grip on it. But topics like marathons, students who are just watching marathons do not have any kind of understanding on the sums. You will face a little bit of a difficulty because when you have not done the sums on your own, you will never be able to improve yourself on a better footing. So please, before you start moving on to chapters, practice the chapters to see how you're standing on it. Yes, great. The last thing which I always believe is that while some people may come and say, yes, marathons are not the great thing, I personally believe from my experiences that revision videos can be a lot of game changers for you. Yes, especially for subjects like direct tax and indirect tax. The biggest issue which happens is students do not end up completing the reading of the syllabus the day before exams. The 1.5 days becomes a little bit of a short time for them to complete both direct tax and indirect tax preparations itself. Now, when I'm talking about just reading it for the first time and you're not able to do it in 1.5 days, imagine you being able to write your exams becomes difficult. Right? And so for me personally, when I shoot marathon videos, the intention is that I always want to ensure that every attempt my video size comes down a little bit more. I'm able to cover what I used to cover for 8 hours and 7 hours in 6 hours, and this time we shot it for 6 hours. I am trying my level best to reduce the timelines only because of the fact that tomorrow when you want to use this video, you get that confidence that yes, if a faculty can complete the revision for you in 6 hours, you can do it yourself. Yes, and therefore the day before exams, when you have come back after your exams, doing nothing, people, just taking out the YouTube and putting on your earphones. If you're able to listen to this video for about 6 hours, the first reading is done there itself. The second reading is where you have to do it yourself a little bit faster. Third reading, when you automatically get through. Fourth time, when you go for your exams, you're already prepared. Yes, so revision videos is something which I personally feel will do a lot of benefits for you, not just during your 1.5 days of your exam, but in the current study preparation time as well. As you keep completing a chapter, if you watch the revision video quickly, which is just about 30 minutes, and you're able to match the speed of the faculty, you will have this confidence that yes, a chapter like PGBP I was able to complete in 1 hour. That is the kind of boost which will give you for your exam preparations as well. So please do that. The last thing which I personally feel is something which a lot of students end up losing their marks and losing their attempt in exams is because of their way to approach the questions. The big reason why a student does not end up getting exemptions is not because that they do not know the subject. It's because they don't know how to approach the paper. One insights which I got from a lot of students who unfortunately did not get through the current May attempt is that they said, Rahul, current year the MCQs were so difficult because it has so many combination questions that unfortunately by the time I completed MCQs itself, it was already 1 hour. Imagine, for 15 marks of DT MCQs, if you're spending 1 hour, you just have 2 more hours to complete 85 marks of the paper. Do you think you'll be able to do that? No. Yes. And therefore, the most important thing which I always tell students is to know when to stop. The skill which you need in exams is to know at which point of time do I need to stop preparing this question and do I need to move forward. Yes, mastering the skill is very, very critical, and this is something which I always tell. Now, in every attempt, I always have a practice to give an ABC analysis. So therefore, during that ABC analysis, I mentioned the strategy. But nevertheless, since we're anyway on this topic, let me talk about this as well. What happens when it comes to approaching the question paper, people, is to know when to do what. The first recommendation I always do is to start with question number 4, for example, when it comes to direct tax, because question number 4 is your easy question on clubbing and set off. Once you have done that clubbing and set off, the moral boost which you will have is going to be immense. You will know that yes, you're already doing faster. Yes, so question number 4 has your theory question, your clubbing and set off. You already know what is happening. And then you decide whether you want to do question number 2 or question number 3, depending on what your status on TDS is. If you have done TDS properly, then question number 2 would be the question to solve, because you will have residential status and your TDS in it. But if you have not done that, then you will have question number 3 to solve, which will have your heads of income. At this stage, people, my request is to jump to indirect tax. Do not finish direct tax. Jump to indirect tax, same strategy. Figure out which questions are really nice for you to solve for your exams. Pick up those questions. The 2 questions which I tell you never to touch is question number 1. This question number 1 is something which you will keep till the end. You will not touch it right now. And the second thing is your MCQs. These 2 things are never to be touched exactly when you're starting the exams, because the more time you spend on these 2, the more efforts you lose. The more time you spend here, the more marks you start losing. So that is not to be done. Please do not do that. Once you have done with indirect tax, people, the same set of formats, you will notice that by this time the clock would have hit 2 hours. Yes, you would have already started your paper at 2, so which means it would have already been 4 o'clock. At this stage, you will stop. Immediately jump to MCQs. Immediately jump to MCQs at 4 o'clock, jump to MCQs, finish off all the MCQs of direct tax and indirect tax in the next maybe 15 minutes, 20 minutes. If you can do it in 30 minutes also, that's completely fine. Yes, once you have done that, people, now what will happen is you will know that yes, 30 marks worth of MCQs in both DT and IDT has also been solved. When you're at 4 o'clock, the pressure on you is so huge that you don't want to spend time on things. You want to look at things very faster, and you want to finish it off no matter what happens, because you know question number 1 is pending for you. Right? And so starting it at 4 o'clock or around 3:45 something, you will have that immense amount of pressure on yourself that yes, I need to do MCQs without even thinking, and therefore you start marking answers left, right, center. That automatically gives you a boost, people, because now 30 marks of MCQs, which you normally would have spent 1 hour when you started the exams, you probably finish it off in 8 minutes, 10 minutes, 12 minutes, maybe a little more difficult, 15 minutes. That is what you'll do. That is when you have the last 45 minutes, 30 minutes in your hand, and you have question number 1 pending. Question number 1 of your compulsory question of direct taxes, pick it up that time. It's okay. You have 14 mark question, you get 20 marks in your hand. So you get 20 minutes in your hand, 30 minutes is what you have. 20 minutes, easily you should be able to finish it off question number 1, because now the pressure on you is so huge that you don't want to think out loud. You want to look at the adjustment, mark the answer. Look at the adjustment, mark the answer. You do it faster than what you could have done. At this stage, you have 10 more minutes. Quick time for you to prepare and review whatever you have written in the past and go forward from there. Yes, this is something which I always recommend as a skill of approaching questions, people, because the faster you complete the easier questions, the better you have a boost. MCQs and question number 1 are traditionally designed to take more time, and therefore if you fall into the trap of ICI and start looking at these questions first, you are going to make a mistake. Do not do that. Please do not do that. Yes, things which I always try people to avoid. You should be avoiding these things. First, and the most biggest mistake I see from students, people start coming and saying, Rahul, tax looks like a story for me. Yes, I'm able to read the whole thing as a story. People, it's not a story. Let's understand. You are not here to read a book. Yes, do not open the book. In the next 30 minutes, come and tell me, Rahul, it's a 200 pages book. I'm an expert in novels, so I'll just quickly swipe off the book and I'll complete the book. No, people understand reading a novel is a way of you to imagine things. DT is not a subject you can imagine. You can't start imagining what is happening in the market with things. So it's not a storybook. It needs time. It needs an effort. A first time reading will take efforts from you. And therefore, please ensure that your first time reading is not on the day of exams. You start your preparations right away. Today itself, you start revising as if you're ready for the exams. So that what happens is the extra time which you're going to take to complete the subject, the 2 or 3 extra days which you take, you're already used to that flow right now itself. Exam is a learning curve for you. When you have taken already 2 days right now, during exams, you'll probably take lesser time. Yes. So please ensure that you don't read it as a story. That's not how you approach it. The important thing. Rahul, selective study is my favorite. Yes, a lot of students will come to me and tell me, Rahul, I don't know, when I started reading capital gains and PGBP, it felt so daunting that I decided I don't want to read these 2 subjects. People, PGBP carries 14 marks, capital gains carries 4 marks, with MCQs it might become 8 marks also. Imagine 20 marks lost here itself. If you take that much of a liberty on yourself to go and write an exam, imagine, do you see yourself clearing the exams? In the very honest feedback? No, right? Yes, it's not about what you like and it's not about what you don't like. I understand some chapters may be difficult, but that's what you have been going classes for. That's what your faculty is putting in efforts along with you. They're trying to make that topic easier. They're trying to explain you things better. Sit with them, understand the topics. Always feel free to reach out to your faculties if you have any doubts, but don't leave topics just because you don't like it. You are never going to become a CA if you don't know everything, people. At the end of the day, tomorrow when a person comes and reaches out to you, he's not going to be coming to you just for doing return filing and just for doing TDS compliance. When he talks about tax, he's going to do everything with you. So you should have a knowledge of everything, people. That's very, very important. At the same time, like I said in first topic itself, when you talk about these things, create a pattern. Understand which topics are more important and give them more weightage as compared to other topics, which will only carry 1 or 2 marks. You can choose to have lesser time and efforts on those topics, not to skip it off. Yes. So selective study is not the way to approach for an exemption, people. You need that importance. Third, please do not dwell on what you did not get. It's not worth it. Like I said, students sitting up in exam hall, MCQ, I am not able to get the answer, Rahul. I've tried my level best. Question number 2, I tried. 2A has, 2B has, 2C has. No matter what I'm trying, no option is matching. People, the more you are sitting and wasting time on it, the more ICI is winning the game. The funniest thing happened, and honestly speaking, it's not funny, but it's rather irritating, is that this time for May 2025, the beautiful example happened is that when a student opened up question number 2, which was talking about total income related adjustments, when I did my review video also, and if you want, you can check my YouTube channel, is that when I went to that question number 2, I personally told that this question was so difficult, not because of anything, but because of the fact that there are 5 different ways to approach this question. I found 5 different permutations and combinations to get answers, and everything was right. And therefore, in my video also, I went and I complained saying that ICI should be taking grace marks for all these questions. Funny thing what happened is the same questions, students spent about 30 minutes just to get that 8 marks. And at that point of time, ICI comes back with suggested answers, simply coming and saying, we accept our mistake. We tell everyone that, yes, we have given you a question which was very vague, and therefore all the options you would have ticked is correct. They literally opened up suggested answers, and suggested answer says question number 2A dash, 2B dash, 2C dash. Imagine, where even if you had not done anything and you would have just ticked any of the options, you would have got the 2 marks. But where you ended up spending 30 minutes just to get that 2 marks. You think that was worth it? No. The big mistake which students end up doing is if they don't start getting answers in exams, they start panic mode. The panic mode starts on, and then they automatically start dwelling on the same question until they move forward. People, it's okay to make mistakes. It's okay to let go. Look at the question in the first go. If you get it, solve it. If you don't get it, skip it. It's completely fine. If it's an MCQ question, just randomly throw any MCQ, people. You may never know. At the end of the day, the attempt which you made is probably the reason why you got grace marks also, because the question was inherently wrong. Yes, please do not sit and spend time on things which you do not get an answer to, because you have better places where you can get more marks. This is not the place to spend time on. The 2 marks which you're struggling for right now is causing you 20 more marks somewhere else, which is what you're losing marks on. Yes, this is the simplest trick which I've always told so many of my students, and so many students who have applied this ended up scoring exemptions in exam, never because they completed the paper, but because they knew at which point of time they had to stop and where they had to score more. They were okay with losing that 30 marks in some places because they did not get the answers, but they rather focused on the 70 marks which they knew they could solve it off, and they ended up getting 60 on it. Imagine the difference you're making there. Yes, that is an exemption strategy. Last but not the least, new is not always hard. People, the problem why students end up facing this huge difficulty is because they always come and say, Rahul, first attempt I did some 4 topics and I did not clear. This time I want to do the balance topics as well, but I only have 2 months in my hand, 1.5 months in my hand. Do you think I can sit and do this new topic altogether because I know it is difficult? Yes, you can. These new topics, if it is worth that marks, you will have to put that efforts. No doubts about it. It is not a choice. It is something which is required. Learn it that way. Yes, if you think, yes, you are not able to do it yourself, faculties will do it for you. There are revision videos, there are marathon videos, there are full course videos. Anything is available, people, as long as you put the effort for it. It is not about you coming and losing attention there. It is about you coming and doing it yourself properly. Yes. So these are some tips and thoughts which I have to ensure that, yes, you do your exams properly. Now comes the critical part. What exactly can you offer me, Rahul, to help me on my revision strategies for my next 30 days in order to get my exemptions? 3 things which I always tell people is available for you all to use. One is what we call as the full course, one is what we call as the Wow Pro, and one is what we call as the marathon. Now, this serves everyone differently, and therefore everyone has to look at it independently. For the students who have absolute no concept clarity, has not done the direct tax at all, need to do the subject for the very first time, full course is for you. It is almost about 120 to 125 hours. So yes, it will be daunting in the next 30 days, but 30 days, 4 hours a day, you should be able to complete the subject off. You should be able to put that time and efforts in it. So therefore that is important. For those people who have done the subject, who have already gone through classes, who know a little bit of things, but just need a little more writing practice, need to solve the MCQs which IC has launched, need to get a little more conceptual clarity because we have to understand the topics a little bit faster, can opt for WoW Pro. WoW Pro are those people who are just at the finish line but a little step behind. These hours are going to be about 50 hours people, which is comprising of the concepts, the marathon, the concepts, the workout, and the MCQ guide. That is what is going to happen. For those people who are already strengthening on the concepts, they are already clear, but sometimes have this feeling of forgetting things. They are not able to crack on anything. They're not able to feel like, yes, I have done things properly. We have already started uploading the free marathons on the YouTube channel. Few marathons which we are already uploading, people, is one, the concept marathon, which is almost about 6 hours. Then you have the workout marathon, which is about 12 hours. And then we have the MCQ marathon, which is about another 6 hours. Totally be about 24 to 25 hours. This 25 hours is for those students who have done the subject and I just want to quickly revise it. In this concept, people, we quickly do a revision of all the concepts in just 6 hours so that you can read it the day before exam. MCQs is basically a compilation of all the MCQs which IC has launched, not just in the case study booklet, but also in the past exam papers, all compiled together and given it out to you so you can refer it from there. And then comes the workout marathon, where basically the WoW Pro workout marathon has been uploaded, where you can basically go through all the questions which I picked personally for all the chapters, and I felt these have some critical adjustments. Focus on those adjustments. If you're able to clear this off, then those adjustments will become the master library for you to refer the day before exams. That is what this video is all about. Yes, so if you're able to cover these three, trust me people, next 30 days, a little bit of an effort from your side, no matter where you stand, you should be able to easily score an exemption in taxes, at least from the direct tax perspective. For all those people who are now planning to buy lectures, people, marathons are anyway uploaded for free, so there is no effort from your side. For those people who are going for full course and for WoW Pro, only for the students who are going for September attempt, we have personally decided between the faculty teams that we wanted to ensure that everyone is benefited to the best extent possible, and therefore we have launched a new discount code for all of you. If you go to the CA classroom and you type it as I will pass September 25, case sensitive, not case sensitive, doesn't matter, but no spaces in the middle, just to type I will pass September 25, an instant 500 rupees discount will be enabled for you to buy the course. You will get an instant 500 rupees discount and it will be valid till 20th July 2025. So which means up to 20th July, if you take this initiative and you buy this course off, you should be able to get a 500 rupees flat discount. Now, let me also tell you this, that if you're a Jan 26 student, it doesn't matter that you're writing September or not. The full course is the same whether it is September or Jan. So if you're a Jan 26 student watching this video and you would like to enable yourself to get a full course videos with a discount, go forward, apply the discount. It doesn't matter. If you're smart enough, you will get the answer there also. Yes, so Jan 26 students also can take the most benefit of this discount coupons and take over the subjects at a discounted price, and you can enable it for yourself. For everyone else, if you're writing September, this is the discount code which you can enable off. Please note that this discount code is eligible for all students who are applying for WoW Pro and for your normal course as well. Yes, so you can take it from there and you can take it forward from there. Let me also clarify that all the students who are enabling for the full course will automatically get access to WoW Pro as well. Yes, students enabling yourself for full course, the 120 hours, will automatically get access to WoW Pro. The WoW Pro students individually get their own videos. Yes, so that is what is going to happen. So if you're anyway in full course, access to WoW Pro is automatically granted to you. If you're at WoW Pro, then you get WoW Pro. Marathons are anyway on the YouTube. This is all the efforts which we have done from us, our side, people. Other efforts are also coming up very, very sooner. We have RTP analysis coming up, MTP analysis coming up. So we are already keeping you engaged on our YouTube channel. As long as you are using it properly, I'm pretty sure September should be the last of the leg which you should be looking forward to. Yes, so please use the maximum benefit of not just the discount code, but also all other materials which are available on the channels, and you should be able to do a lot better job for yourself. If you still have any doubts and you want to reach out to me, my WhatsApp number is available in the description box. And for those people who want to discuss with me on the WhatsApp, you can anyway call me on I got the numbers wrong. It's 733-8923-295. This is my WhatsApp number, people. You can just drop me a WhatsApp message. Just message a hi and then let me know as to what exactly do you want from me. I will try my level best to answer all your questions within 24 hours at least to start with. Yes, so that is all we wanted to discuss in today's video. I know the video has gone a little lengthier, but yes, I think we always do this once in a while, right? So I hope you are okay with my videos as well. Take care, everyone. Have a great preparation times. I will see you all very, very soon after you drop me a message on your success journey for your September 2025 exams and forwards. I will take care.